Every photograph ever taken of the night sky is a picture of the past. Not metaphorically, literally. The light left before your parents were born, before the pyramids, in some cases before our sun existed. And somewhere in that ancient light, catalogued in 1957, filed away like a species of insect, is the most massive black hole our species has ever found. It is not a star. It is not a galaxy. It is a hole in space. And it is 6,500 times bigger than the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, the one that took scientists a decade and 8 telescopes the size of the Earth to photograph. That one is terrifying. Tian 618 makes it look like a mistake, and none of that is the reason you should lose sleep over it. What should unsettle you? What I keep coming back to, weeks after researching this, is what Tian 618's existence quietly implies about the universe you think you understand. By the end of this video, you will not be able to look at the night sky the same way again. Tian 618 has a mass of 66 billion suns. Not 66 billion stars, 66 billion suns. Our sun, the object that has sustained every form of life that has ever existed on this planet. The object so massive it contains 99.86% of all the mass in our solar system. Tian 618 outweighs 66 billion of them. Its event horizon, the point of no return, the edge beyond which nothing, not light, not information, not time itself can escape, has a diameter of approximately 1,300 astronomical units. 1 astronomical unit is the distance from the Earth to the Sun, which is already an almost useless unit for trying to feel anything. Its event horizon spans 1,300 of those distances. If you placed Tian 618 at the center of our solar system, its boundary of no return would extend well past Pluto, every planet, every moon, every asteroid, everything we've ever launched into space. Everything we've ever seen through a telescope, all of it, inside. There is no instinct in the human brain built to hold that. We evolved to track prey across open ground, to judge distances in tens of meters, to fear things roughly our own size. Tian 618 is so far outside those scales that comprehension fails before it even begins. You understand it the way you understand a number with 12 zeros. Technically, not viscerally. But here's the thing that gets lost beneath the numbers. It's not the scale that should bother you. The real horror isn't about size at all. It's about something that was true before this object ever formed. Something that is true right now as you watch this. And once you notice it, every image of space starts to feel different. Tian 618 is 10.4 billion light years away. The light we use to study it, the light that carries the data, the images, the spectroscopic signatures, left its source before our sun existed. The Earth wasn't formed yet. The solar system wasn't formed yet. The atoms that would eventually become you were still drifting through a universe that hadn't yet figured out how to make rocky planets. And that light has been traveling ever since, for 10.4 billion years, crossing galaxies, threading through voids, arriving finally at Earth, hitting a telescope mirror, and telling us, this thing exists, except it existed. Past tense. What Tian 618 looks like today, we cannot know. We will never know. The universe is too large, and light is too slow, and we are too young a species to have arrived in time to see anything except history. Think about what that means for a moment. Not as a fact, as a feeling. Every instrument we build, every telescope we launch, every data point we collect is arriving from a universe that no longer looks the way it did when the signal left. We cannot take a photograph of the present. Physics won't allow it. Distance is time, and we are always too late. We are not observing the universe. We are reading its obituary. Because the thing sending us that message wasn't merely large. It was one of the most violent objects the universe has ever produced. It was feeding. When material falls toward a supermassive black hole, gas, dust, entire stars ripped apart by tidal forces, it forms an accretion disk, a swirling storm of superheated matter, orbiting at a significant fraction of the speed of light. The friction generates temperatures in excess of billions of degrees. Tian 618's accretion disk, at its peak activity, was radiating more energy than 140 trillion suns combined. There is a photograph taken in 2019 by the Event Horizon Telescope. It shows the black hole at the center of M87, a different object, far smaller, 6.5 billion solar masses instead of 66 billion. It took 200 scientists, 8 telescopes across 4 continents, and 2 years of data processing to produce it. The image is blurry, orange and black. It looks like a smudge. People cried at the press conference, and if you understand why, you feel it too. Because that smudge was the end of 100 years of faith. Einstein predicted black holes in 1915. Every physicist who came after him built on that prediction, spent their careers on it, and never got to see it confirmed. The people in that room in 2019 were the first humans in history to look at one directly. That blurry orange smudge was proof that a century of mathematics had been pointed at something real. That's the one we managed to photograph. TON 618 is 10 times more massive. So far away that even with every telescope we've ever built pointed at it simultaneously, we cannot resolve its event horizon into anything resembling a shape. There are scientists who have spent years calculating exactly how large it is without ever being able to see its face. You can know a thing's mass to within a fraction of a percent. You can calculate exactly where its boundary of no return begins. You can publish papers on the precise geometry of something you will never, in any meaningful sense, actually see. We know it exists because of what it does to the light around it. That's all we have. And what it did to everything around it is the part nobody prepared for. Imagine every star in an entire galaxy slowly winking out. Not from a war, not from a collision, just from running out of the raw material to make new ones. No drama, no explosion. The lights just stop coming on. One by one, over billions of years, the existing stars burn through their fuel. Nothing replaces them. The galaxy doesn't die. It just slowly goes dark. That is what quasar feedback does. When a black hole of this scale feeds, it radiates so violently that it pushes the surrounding gas, the raw material for new stars, out of the host galaxy entirely. Without that gas, stellar nurseries go cold. The cycle that produces stars, which produce carbon, which eventually produces planets and oceans and biology, that chain simply stops. When Carl Sagan said, "We are made of star stuff," he meant it literally. The carbon in your body was forged in the core of a dying star. The iron in your blood was scattered by a supernova. You are the downstream product of billions of years of stars forming, burning, exploding, and seeding the next generation. Quasar feedback ends that cycle. Whatever life was becoming possible in TON 618's host galaxy, whatever was quietly assembling itself on whatever cooling rocks, the black hole at the center of their galaxy likely ended that experiment before it had a chance to run. TON 618 consumed so much that it starved everything around it. But starving a galaxy isn't what keeps astrophysicists awake at night. The real problem is that TON 618 should not exist as early as it did. Pull back. Forget the numbers. Look at what the numbers are actually saying. TON 618 is not an anomaly. It is an extreme on a spectrum. The vast majority of large galaxies host a supermassive black hole at their center. These black holes formed early, within the first billion years of the universe, and they grew to masses that our standard models struggle to explain. The people who study this for a living will tell you directly. Objects like TON 618 push formation theory to its breaking point. The standard pathways, a black hole growing steadily, consuming surrounding gas across billions of years, cannot produce something this massive in the time available. The universe simply wasn't old enough. TON 618 grew faster than our current models say it should have been able to, and we don't know how. That's not a rhetorical flourish. That's the state of science. There are people who have dedicated their careers to this question and haven't resolved it. We named the thing. We measured it. We still don't understand it. And that gap between naming and understanding is where most of science actually lives, even if it rarely gets said out loud. In the very long run, tens of trillions of years, black holes like TON 618 are likely the last objects in the universe. The stars will be gone. The galaxies will have dispersed. The protons themselves may have decayed, and the black holes will remain, slowly evaporating through Hawking radiation, losing mass, one particle at a time, in a universe so old and so empty that the concept of witness no longer applies. The universe will end, and nothing will be there to notice. What's remarkable is how close it came to remaining just another catalog number. We found TON 618 in 1957. It appeared as a faint smudge on a photographic plate. Someone wrote down its coordinates. Someone assigned it a catalog number. Someone filed the paper. No one in that room had any idea they had just documented one of the most massive objects our species would ever discover. It was a Tuesday. For decades, it was a data point, a redshift reading, a line in an astronomical survey. Then we looked closer, and we realized we had been cataloging one of the largest known objects ever found with the same indifference we use for a new species of beetle. 66 billion solar masses. A galaxy slowly running out of stars. A hole in space that pushes our best models to their limits. An object so far away that the light we use to see it is older than our sun. And somewhere out there, beyond the edge of what our telescopes can reach, past the 93 billion light-year bubble of observable space we call the universe, there are almost certainly others, larger, older, so far away we will never see them, never name them, never know they existed. TON 618 is not the most terrifying thing in the universe. It's just the most terrifying thing we've managed to find, which raises an uncomfortable question about everything we haven't.